Quant has been struggling recently. It's lagging behind most of the crypto market right now, which has left a lot of investors potentially a little concerned at the fact that it won't perform in this cycle. Can Quant hit $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, or even more? Well, to answer this, we're going to have to understand some of the reasons why anyone would want to purchase Quant in the first place, because that, of course, means the price will eventually go up. Now, this is a little bit different to what you or others around you might think, which is just buying based on what Uncle Tommy or the latest influencer tells you to buy. But most people out there buy based on facts, and that's what we're going to have a look at today. In order to grasp this and finally answer this once and for all, I've asked Greg Lunt, Quant's by far greatest researcher of all time, who's clocked in thousands of hours into understanding how Quant works and how it works with its partners, to give me only 3 valid reasons that would make Quant a top-tier investment for this cycle. After that, we'll jump into a price prediction that will be backed by real data, and also how convincing Greg's 3 points really are. Now, Greg has recently launched a group that is going to be helping people understand Quant, its partners, and a whole bunch more relating to crypto research as well. He's calling Over Legends, but we'll talk more about that very soon. So first of all, Quant is a project focused on connecting the networks, connecting the entire world, whether that's Web 2, whether that's Web 3 like crypto, whether that is a website, no matter what it is, if it is a product offered in the real world that has a network of its own, if it can be connected via APIs, and if it can have access to the internet, Quant can connect to it and give that access to the much larger network of the entire world. So Quant, the best way to describe it, is kind of like a spider in between a massive web, and that web being highways between connecting different enterprises or applications. This hasn't been done before. All right, so we're talking about this. This is quite a big leap and a big step. And as we'll see momentarily, Greg will talk about partners later on in the video. You can already see these guys aren't chasing the scraps. These guys are going after the big guys when it comes to partners, and that's the point of difference of Quant. We'll talk about more of those soon. Another big misconception of Quant is that it is just an ERC20 token. Oh, I don't want to buy Quant, Kyron, because Quant is just a smart contract on Ethereum. Quant acts and uses the smart contract on Ethereum in the exact same way Layer 2s on Ethereum use it to settle their transactions. Layer 2s are Layer 2s because they're designed to take the slow Ethereum, make it fast, and make it cheaper for us to use. But what we don't see is the fact that these Layer 2s have all those transactions are settled forever on Ethereum. Well, Quant is the same way, but Quant, rather than being a Layer 2, it's just a smart contract. So Quant has its own network in the real world. All these transactions happen. Periodically, we have a whole batch of these transactions come over and they're finalized and settled on Ethereum. For those of you saying, well, I don't want to buy Quant because, it's expensive to buy on Ethereum, it's an ERC20 token. Guys, Binance, Coinbase, Bybit, Kraken, KuCoin, MEXC, yeah, I can go on forever. It's on all the major exchanges, okay? And that's for a very good reason. This is a strong quality project, but people, I think, a big part of this are misguided at what Quant actually is and does. Now that's out of the way, the first point I want to kind of make here is what it is. Again, it connects to the networks of the world. It's the network of networks. And this is interoperability. That's what it focuses on. So you can see here, these are the top interoperability projects in crypto. ICP, Cosmos, Wormhole, Quant, really Polkadot should be in here as well. Axelar, the list goes on. But the big point of difference I want to make between every single one of these projects and Quant Network, first of all, is that Quant Network not just focuses on connecting Web 2 to Web 3 and Web 3 to Web 3, but also Web 2 to Web 2. All right, so this is really after the big boys.
What a lot of people are missing is they think interoperability in Web 3 is just about connecting different blockchains, when the real opportunity is actually connecting all of the existing institutions and merchants and applications as they all upgrade their systems and tokenize the trillions of dollars in assets that they already have. So of course you want to connect all the new blockchains as well, but legacy institutions are not going to rebuild all their systems on decentralized networks. It's just never going to happen. They need customer service, they need anti-money laundering conditions, they need legal finality. And so that's where Quant really fills a need, is providing these organizations that hold all the wealth with an enterprise-grade solution that connects them to every other ecosystem as we evolve into this token-based internet.
So, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're sort of saying here is basically that these enterprises in the real world that might be siloed and might have their own small networks and small servers that don't really connect even with existing services, that what we're trying to do here, as Quant at least, is allow them to flourish, allow them to develop in their own ways, which will, of course, come as innovation typically does. And Quant's there to help them tokenize, help them connect to other Web 2 businesses, as well as Web 3, basically be network agnostic, doing cross-border payments and all the rest of it. Whereas I think most people seem to believe, as you alluded to as well, that we kind of have to incorporate crypto tech into these businesses, which ultimately is just not going to happen.
Yeah, the idea is that this is way bigger than just crypto. This is all of the databases, all of the organizations in the world, as they upgrade their systems in whatever way they see fit to tokenize, Quant will be there to help them all intercommunicate and be interoperable. And what's exciting about that is that this goes across all different narratives, right? Because yes, there's cross-border payments and stuff with central banks and things of that nature. But there's also, connecting AI smart contracts and DePIN and real-world assets, and everything is going to be communicating in one seamless ecosystem from the new technology and the old technology that's upgrading into the new technology. All of that needs to merge and talk to each other, and that's really where Quant comes in.
Now, the question really is, how important is it to be connecting the real world for this cycle, right? I think anyone can see that. Quant really is a pioneer in this area. What does that mean for this cycle? Well, as you all know, I rank interoperability like up there with top 10 performing narratives, okay? Actually, it is 10 out of 10 in my personal opinion. Now, we haven't really seen a lot of these interop projects really take off just yet. I mean, some of them have, some of them haven't. Like Quant really hasn't so far. It's been stuck around $100. But that is actually a good sign. The fact that we haven't had a narrative pump just yet, when all of these coins push up, is a good sign to me that I think Quant is just in a massive accumulation phase. All right, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all sitting at $100 for the last 1.5 to 2 years is a brighty good thing. However, remember, no other interoperability projects have so far pumped, meaning that, of course, these projects are likely still going to have multiple chances to begin accruing more demand. All right, it would be worrying if there were multiple pumps like we've seen with AI, DePIN, meme coins, and so on, real-world assets, and Quant hadn't even moved slightly because of that, all right? So we don't know for certain Quant isn't reactive because of this narrative. I think it's a matter of time. Now, Greg also mentioned about being connected to AI and other such narratives as well. Now, we haven't really seen that this is actually connected just yet. Like, we don't know that, yes, while Quant may facilitate, into transactions regarding AI services and whatnot, I think that this is probably going to be one of their primary, if not worst case, sub-narratives for the next bull run. So I think mainly for this cycle, interoperability is the main focus for Quant, is the main narrative you have to be associating with this project. What about the team that's running this project? Because as you should all know, what do I always say on this channel, okay? The project, or the ship, metaphorically speaking, okay, is only going to run as intended so long as it has a good crew. Without a good crew, it's going to steer off course and eventually sink. Now, Quant's crew, or team in this case, second to none. Particularly one individual, okay? Gilbert Verderin is the CEO of Quant Network, and I do want to talk more about this guy because ultimately the other team members are fantastic in of themselves, but this guy is like a shining beacon, a shining star for this project, okay? It is most important to have a good CEO and founder. Now, Gilbert's littered with a whole bunch of accolades, okay? His experience, we'll touch on more of this in a second. Education, of course, is up there, but I do strongly believe experience outweighs any education. But what I love about Gilbert is he has a bunch of endorsements, all right? Over 99 endorsements from different people all over the world. And I think he has so many, and these are from pretty high-ranking people in their own respective fields, because he's had so much experience and high-ranking experience, right? He's been the CISO, or the Chief Information Security Officer of Vocalink, all right, a MasterCard company. He was also involved in the Australian government to some degree with the New South Wales ambulance and also the New South Wales e-health as well. Now, he was also the director of cybersecurity for PwC. BP as well, involved in digital security for this Also in HSBC security projects and programs. He was involved in the UK government as well, part of the Treasury Department as the Deputy CTO and CSO, as well as a whole bunch of things. So you can see a recurring pattern here, right? Gilbert is very knowledgeable and knows the market, especially when it comes to, security, which is a big part of quant. Being interconnected, the network of networks, you have to be secure, right? Whoa. Let's just hang on here for 2 seconds and talk about the highest conviction coin there possibly is, Bitcoin. Have you ever wanted to be involved in mining Bitcoin but couldn't afford the expensive equipment or didn't want to install something that sounds just like your mother's vacuum in your house 24/7? Well, that's exactly what Go Mining, today's video sponsor, has solved. Go Mining offers a revolutionary way to earn Bitcoin without the headaches, and being an insane $140 million market cap project, a lot of people seem to think so too. Go Mining lets you mine Bitcoin through NFTs, which are digital certificates of ownership for a share of Go Mining's powerful mining infrastructure and profits distributed over 9 data centers. With over 108,000 NFTs sold and 50,000 individual holders, you can imagine the process of creating an NFT must be pretty easy, right? Well, it sure is. In just a few seconds, you're able to customize and buy your NFT like I've just done here on screen, or pick up one from their secondary marketplace, and you'll be able to start earning daily Bitcoin rewards. And when I say rewards, I'm talking up to $220 per day or $6,000 per month, and that's all in actual Bitcoin, so of course, it's probably going to be even more. You can easily increase the earning potential of your machine by upgrading its power or by altering the energy efficiency, meaning you simply pay less in maintenance fees and therefore will earn more. The fun part is when the NFT generates, random traits are attributed to it, which could give you an insanely rare miner to make even more profits if you decide to sell on a secondary market. Plus, Go Mining's NFTs are more than just mining machines. You can upgrade your NFT for even bigger Bitcoin rewards, participate in exclusive games and events, and enjoy the potential for increased value of the NFT itself. Go Mining's native token, the GMT, powers this ecosystem, which has actual utility within the platform. You can use it to purchase NFTs, get discounts on electricity and maintenance costs, and participate in governance. And by locking your GMT tokens, you can actually earn additional rewards and help steer the future of the platform. So if you're ready to start mining Bitcoin the easy way, use the first link in the description to find out more.
Gilbert's really the mastermind behind this whole thing. And what's so impressive about him is not just his career in British government, Australian government, American government, working in cybersecurity, but it's the way he positioned Quant Network to succeed, not the least of which is around standards. So this is where a lot of people get lost, but blockchains and distributed ledger technology, there are new internet protocols that are being built. And internet protocols are only adopted and implemented at scale if they're standardized, right? Every country, every bank, every government, every organization needs regulations and standards to operate within so that they're all playing by the same rules and we can have a functioning economy. So not only did Gilbert create ISO TC307, which is the ISO standard for blockchains and distributed ledger technologies, and now has 64 countries a part of it, but he also co-founded a standard that's being published through the IETF, which is the Internet Engineering Task Force. And these are the same people who manage all the protocols that run the internet today, like TCP/IP, SMTP, which is email, HTTP, which does the browsers. And so this standard, which is called SATP, the Secure Asset Transfer Protocol, is being built right now to become the standard that people using the internet will use to move digital assets from network to network and blockchain to blockchain. It's literally the holy grail for interoperability, and every organization will need to adopt this over the next few years.
So one thing I've noticed about Gilbert is he's quite fascinating, right? He's definitely a gem, but I want you to maybe contextualize and put some sort of weight to how rare it is to find a leader like Gilbert, period, let alone in crypto.
Yeah, Gilbert's one of a kind, man. And I think the experience that he has in banks and governments, he's been in the rooms, he understands the way that things work. And that's really, again, why they led with such a standard-based approach, because he knows what it takes to get mass adopted. He knows how these organizations that essentially run the world, run the global financial system, how they work from the inside out. He was a big part of it from a security standpoint, from a data transfer standpoint. And so he's almost like reverse engineering the way that these things are adopted. And so You don't see that a lot in crypto. There are a few, impressive executives across the industry, but really Quant takes this approach of enterprise first and crypto second. And they just happen to have a token that we're lucky enough to invest in. That's a key part of their infrastructure, but they don't really move about things as a crypto company. They move like a finance company that has all these great connections already in place.
And I really want you to understand just how amazing these partnerships are, because I firmly do believe, look, Quant's an amazing project with amazing technology, but equal to how impressive this is, and it truly is groundbreaking tech, its partners are equal with it. So a big part of Quant is who it's connected with already, and therefore who they are connected with. It's going after the big guys rather than the breadcrumbs like most other crypto and regular projects are. Now, if you're someone who owns any Quant right now, if you're someone who's interested in buying Quant, or if you just are a curious and interested crypto enthusiast, guys, I want Greg to explain to you what he has recently cooked up. Now, he has built out a community called Overlegends, which is going to be tasked with saving people who enter that group thousands of hours, right? Particularly around Quant research partners and so on. This guy lives and breathes Quant, okay? And he's giving you all this information at the very palm of your hand. So if you're someone who lacks the time, Greg has a fantastic solution for you.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Overlegends, an exclusive community where you'll be getting access to a variety of amazing quant and crypto content, stuff you won't be able to find anywhere else on the internet. My name is Greg Lunt, and I'm a Web3 writer, researcher, and content creator. I've been in crypto since 2017, and for the past few years, I've been helping people make money by bringing hidden research to light and making blockchain technology easy to understand. Every day, I read through government reports, central bank papers, thousands of Telegram messages, and stay on the cutting edge of what's actually happening in this digital and financial revolution. I created Overlegends.com to take my research even further and bring together crypto enthusiasts just like you who are seeking out quality information but don't necessarily have the time or desire to dedicate hours and hours to research every day. The quant groups that exist right now have good information, but they're very unorganized and aren't always the most welcoming to people with questions or alternative points of view. Overlegends takes all the complexities of QNT news and analysis and simplifies it down inside of a positive, supportive group experience. Inside the community, you get multiple videos every week, live Q&As, expert masterclasses, weekly newsletters, and of course, access to our private Telegram group where everyone is sharing their latest ideas and breakdowns in real time. There's also some instant downloads you'll get as a bonus as soon as you join the group. You can read all about what we're doing at nobscrypto.overlegends.com. That's nobscrypto.overlegends.com. I'll see you inside. Their partnership strategy is really smart. So instead of partnering with individual companies or banks, they link with organizations that already have hundreds or thousands or even hundreds of thousands of entities underneath them. And so, for example, the Bank for International Settlements is using QNT for their unified ledger that will have all the central banks in the world on it. They're also partnered with Oracle, who's built Overledger into their cloud infrastructure, which means any of the 400,000 plus businesses that use Oracle to build out token-based products over the next few years will end up leveraging Quant. Or LACchain, which is an initiative led by the IDB and Citibank, which will connect over a dozen Latin American and Caribbean countries and provide public blockchain services to those nations. All of these are going to be using Overledger. And so they partner with these organizations that are at the top of the food chain. And that way, as they roll out their platform over time, all of the organizations underneath them will automatically be using QNT and leveraging that. And that gives the token really powerful network effects over the next few years.
So this concept is very important when it comes to online business models, right? Network effects being the way in which a project scales exponentially at a given time, okay? This typically happens with networks like Facebook, Snapchat, that pretty much allow people to create subgroups within subgroups using an application. So it pretty much makes them forever wanting to use that application, okay? Just like the telephone network is a form of network effects in a way. Now, sort of the point that Greg's referring to here is critical mass, okay, which Quant actually has. Quant's being developed and used in so many different large enterprises and sort of conglomerates that it's almost at the point where it is going to hit critical mass. But what about this cycle? What about being involved in crypto? Well, I want to talk a bit about the price prediction for Quant. Now, I'm not going to speak too long on this particular subject because, as you all know, I'm trying to reduce the length of these videos. If you do want to find out the maths behind this particular outcome you're looking at here, I suggest joining the private community. I put up videos expanding on the maths deeper and further over there. So long story short, what's interesting about Quant here is that we typically find projects from their market dominance lows to their average highs at a peak moment in a bull run, about 9 to 10xing. And what market dominance is, and I will keep repeating this until people get it in their heads, is basically a percentage of the global market cap represented as a percentage of that project's market cap. So if the global market cap was $1 trillion and a project had a 10% market dominance, that means that its market cap would be about $100 billion. Okay, so 10% of the global market. So it's very important to look at because this is a great way to see if a project is actually, growing and beating the market or just growing with the market. Okay, now Quant actually at its lows of the bear market had a dominance of 0.1%. Okay, so if we kind of roughly estimate what most projects do, we should see about a 1% Quant this cycle, or around that. I'd probably say about a 0.7% to about a 1.2% market dominance, which is pretty impressive considering the global market cap might go to pretty high numbers. From what I've deduced from all my countless hours of research and what experts are predicting and so on, and then forecasting that into future growth and market cap size, we can expect 2 points to probably occur. 6.5 trillion and 10 trillion global market cap, all right? This cycle is looking pretty good so far. So if we roughly know the market dominance percentage that Quant will go to, and we also know what the market cap size will be, that gives us pretty good indications of what the price for Quant will be. And so that is what I've done in this case. But what is interesting about Quant is the fact that its lows in the bear market was 0.1, but today's market dominance is actually less, right? So it's actually fallen from the average of the market, which isn't good at all. But that's current. Again, we haven't had that sort of interoperability, narrative pump just yet, which is when these high dominance levels typically happen, right, at their narrative pump. So with that being said, I've got 4 levels we can expect here based on the 6.5 and 10 trillion expected global market cap. We might fall beneath, we might fall over, probably somewhere in between. That's why I've used these 2 levels. So we're going to look at what happens if it maintains the current market dominance at 0.06%. What happens if it doubles and 5x's? But what happens if it then on the top side, the best case, well, around the best case, 10x is the lows, which again is actually higher than today's price, right? The bear market lows. So I've kind of, again, extracted this information, and again, I'll do a deeper dive on the private community, but this is the results. This also factors in supply as well. So we're factoring in all the different scenarios here, and what we're finding is bear case, okay, for 2024 at a 6.5 trillion market cap, we're looking at about a 3x from today, and the average high, average-ish price should be about a 13x, 13.5x really, alrighty? Now, in 2025 at a 10 trillion market cap, we're looking at about a 4x, very, very low, to probably a more reasonable level being about $2,000. Now, again, probably going to fall in between, and I'll tell you what I think here in a moment. Now, on the high side, and I use average high very loosely, about a 45x to 145x. Now, keep in mind, these might sound incredible. Kyron, that's an insane amount. Well, that's if the market cap goes to 100 billion and 65 billion. So these are very realistic numbers, and I think all it's going to take is some event, some moment in time that would allow people to go, we have been sleeping on Quant, whether that's a combination of the interoperability narrative popping off, as well as a huge announcement, like a definite working relationship with something like the BIS, which it already has, by the way, but like an actual integration with CBDCs or something like that. I think that'll be the catalyst for a massive surge in demand. If you're asking me, all right, based on Greg's 3 points he's brought up, based on the narrative and more narratives it's in, based on Gilbert being the powerhouse of the project and overall a real gem of the crypto space entirely, as well as all of these high-ranking partnerships, right, with the BIS, with LackChain, with Oracle, okay, that have hundreds of thousands of clients. Where do I think Quant will go based on these numbers as well? Well, I actually think Quant will probably go somewhere between these 2 numbers, all right? Now, again, we could have a really bad time for Quant, or we could have a really good time for Quant. However, I would say probably a 10 to 15x in my opinion. So that's a $1,000 token from the current price up to about a $1,500 token. Seems probably the most realistic to me. However, again, could go more, could be a little bit less for all I know, but that should hopefully give you some indication of what you're looking for in terms of multiples. Hey, I think moral of the story, Quant's going to do well this cycle, but in terms of the next cycle, all right, I think the next cycle is going to really take off. These partnerships are going to be next level. And as, Greg sort of mentioned, if there is a point in time where regulation is stamped on the market, which probably will happen between now and 2029, Quant will be one of the very few projects that makes it out of that sort of culling alive. So it's important not to look for the short term, but also for the long term as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. And look, if you have, you can go help support all I do by dropping a like down there and go to the link in the description, right? Go see what Greg's cooking up over there, because I guarantee you right now, knowing Greg, it will literally be second to none. Take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.